Hello everyone and welcome live on this Thursday night to Pocono Raceway, where tonight will begin the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series playoffs. It is going to be a great series of 7 races to decide the champion of the 2022 Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. We are going to be with you every step of the way here on the World Racing Network. Good evening, I'm Mitchell Adams, and I'll be with you in the booth here tonight for what should be a great race to start off the playoffs. Pocono Raceway, another difficult, unusual track, a little more common to these drivers, though. They're going to be more familiar with Pocono. And that should make for more great racing like we have been seeing all season long, especially here lately. The racing has been top tier from all these drivers. Practice is getting wrapped up. We will recap your standings here momentarily, but it is time now to roll into qualifying. Trey Whited going to be the fastest driver in practice. He is in the playoffs, comes into tonight 4th in playoff points, but we will see who will prevail in qualifying. And let us know out in the chat if you are watching. Glad you all are tuning in here tonight. We're getting really close to that 100 subscriber mark here on the World Racing Network, so pretty excited about that. If you are not already subscribed, I highly encourage you to go click that red subscribe button. It helps us and the National Sim Racing Association out a ton. That is not what is important. What is important is seeing who is out for qualifying right now, and we'll kick it off with the 29 machine of Ira Kohlhaas out of turn number 1. Ira Kohlhaas, another driver in the playoffs here. A lot of drivers out very early on to take time. As a matter of fact, fastest in practice, Trey Whited is out there. I don't believe they're running any sort of playoff banner, so it's going to be coming off memory who is and who is not in the playoffs. So work with me here, folks, throughout the night. Adam Pettit out on the racetrack as well, getting ready to get that engine warmed up for qualifying. Pettit, a driver, been on a little bit of a struggle lately, looking to rebound here tonight in the playoffs. 2 straight DNFs for driver of the number 83, but been a strong contender all season long, so watch Adam Pettit here tonight. 92, Julian Tesoro out on track. Glad to see Julian Tesoro here tonight at Pocono. Waiting for those very first lap times to get put on the board. No one has clocked a lap yet here in qualifying. You can see there's still 3 minutes remaining, so they've got plenty of time to do it here. And when those lap times come in, they're going to start coming in a hurry, so get ready to stay on top of it with me here up in the booth. This will be the first lap for Julian Tesoro. We'll see where that puts driver of the number 92, third place. Fastest lap so far in qualifying belongs to the number 33 machine of Trey Whited. Mike Tellier out on track as well, second in qualifying right now. Mike bringing back the Hello Kitty paint scheme. Haven't seen that in a couple races. Philip Scott as well, another playoff driver out on the charts. He got his first lap up into second, so we will see what Philip has for lap number 2. Nine drivers have already taken time here in this qualifying session. Again, this will start the playoffs, so playoff points have been reset for those 10 drivers who made the playoffs. Everybody starts not exactly even playing field, and again, we will go over playoff points momentarily. Trey Whited remains on top of the speed charts for now. Nate Maurer just jumped up into the second position. Number 9, Steven Lachensky out for qualifying, currently sitting 12th. A big noteworthy, though, I'm seeing Adam Pettit, the 83, he is 13th in qualifying. That is the 13 of 13 at the back of the speed charts. I believe he might have made both laps already, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to double check that here. No, I was wrong. That was Pettit's second lap, and he jumps to third on the charts. It'd be good if the broadcaster could read numbers. Of course, iRacing just did a update. I think it screwed with a little bit of my scoring stuff. I need to go update some more things. That leaves Justin White here in the number 2 machine. There he is out on the racetrack. Another playoff driver here is Justin White. Goes to 7th on the speed chart. Doug Neal did not make the playoffs, but had a great run last week back at the Milwaukee Mile. Came home second to teammate Nate Maurer. Third to teammate Nate Maurer. I should have to double check that. I shouldn't spit out numbers without being super duper sure. I was right the second time. It was a third place finish. I'll get it eventually here. And that leaves just the 49 of Bryce Hunter out on the racetrack with Justin White. The Dr. Pepper machine, Bryce Hunter, my favorite paint scheme, unashamed to say so. And he is another playoff driver here in the 2022 Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Courtesy of a win as well back at Atlanta. And that is going to wrap up qualifying. We are going to jump straight into things here in the race. We will run through your starting lineup here in just a moment. All right, let's run through your starting order for the first race of the 2022 Beer Street Journal Grand National Series playoffs. It is this man, the 33, Trey Whited, playoff driver, rolling it off from the pole. It's going to be Nate Maurer, another playoff driver, coming off a win last week as well in that 971. 2 weeks in a row, actually, Nate Maurer has gone to victory lane. He rolls off in second. Another playoff driver, the 83, Adam Pettit, rolls off from third and fourth. Philip Scott, another playoff machine, as well as in fifth. That's Mike Tellier. Then we get a non-playoff driver, the first in the grid. That's Julian Tesoro rolling off from 6th. Justin White, who is in the playoffs, rolls off from 7th. The number 69 machine of Dominic Tesoro, the right number, a little bit difficult to see on scoring. Dominic rolls off from the 8th position. Doug Neal, the Simbox machine, rolls off in 9th. In 10th, another playoff driver, Ira Kohlhaas, in the Mountain Dew number 29 machine 11th place is the number 9 of Steven Lechensky rolling off. 12th is Bryce Hunter. We just talked about him in the playoffs. And it's Tom Lester in the 48 rolling off in 13th. And 14th, the 28 of Sam Kohlhaas. Starting in the 15th position is the 14 of Adam Newton. 16th, the Beer Street Journal machine of Stan Hausman, the number 39 car. Then rounding out your field in 17th is the 88 of Noah Owens, and the 3 of Jason Shue will make up the remainder of your 18-car field here tonight. And let's get a quick look here at your playoff points coming into tonight's race. Remember, this is the first race of the playoffs, so everything got reset. There's a 5-point interval between everyone here in the point standings. Adam Pettit, courtesy of his 4 wins, comes into tonight as your playoff points leader in that number 83 machine. Nate Maurer, your regular season champion, is second in playoff points with his 3 regular season wins. Philip Scott comes into tonight third with 2 wins, and it is the one-time winners, Trey Whited, Mike Tellier, Bryce Hunter, and Ryan Sizemore, 4th through 7th in points. Or Sizemore is not here tonight. That's a noteworthy absence, as well as Martin Plute down 9th in playoff points. Neither of those 2 drivers here tonight. Then the 3 drivers who pointed their way in, again, Martin Plute in 9th, Justin White in 8th, and Ira Kohlhaas rounded out your 10 playoff drivers. And we will see how much these points are going to shake up after tonight. I expect quite a bit of action here from the tricky triangle in the Poconos. It is going to be Trey Whited in the 33 machine, leading him to green here to kick off the Beer Street Journal playoffs. Again, want to thank you all for tuning in. Will Radcliffe saying, going to be a great race. I am excited. I am excited too up here in the booth, Will. Pace car down pit road. It is time to go playoff racing, and we are green flagged from Pocono. Great start for both drivers on the front row. The 33 got a good jump off the line, as did Nate Maurer, though, as the field races down into turn number 1. Side by side for the first time, trying to get up to speed, and it's still side by side for your race leaders as they exit turn number 1 down. I don't actually know what you would call that. I guess it's the back straightaway. 3 turns kind of complicates things a little bit. Down into the tunnel, though, it's going to be Nate Maurer picking up the race lead from the 33, but watch the run coming from Whited into 3. Up the inside is Trey Whited. We have really yet to see which groove is going to be preferred around this racetrack. It kind of just depends on the track conditions usually in these cars. Lap number 1 going to be a drag race to the line, but Nate Maurer will be the driver picking up that first lap lead of the playoffs, and still though into turn number 1 side by side with the 33 of Trey Whited, who gets a big run now on the inside lane. He will go clear Maurer back into the race lead is your pole sitter as the field again races in toward turn number 2. We call this the tunnel turn. You hear NASCAR commentators call that. I'm not exactly sure where that comes from, other than it feels like a tunnel to drive through is what I've heard them say. Into turn number 3, Nate Maurer still keeping the pressure up on the 33 Trey Whited. Taking a quick look back into third place, Philip Scott trying to fend off a challenge from the 83 of Adam Pettit. Got by Pettit on the last lap. Now, though, that 83 all over the rear mirror of Philip Scott. Again, Pettit coming off 2 straight DNFs, looking to show us a lot of that speed that propelled him to win the most races of anyone else here out of your playoff drivers in the regular season. Of course, it's Trey Whited trying to keep his momentum up, and you see already going down low on the straightaways, trying to break that draft. That's so important to do here at Pocono. That draft plays a massive role in the speed these cars get down the straightaway. If you were that leader like Trey Whited is right now, you punch a hole in that air for everyone else behind you that helps them get down the straightaways much faster than you. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see drivers doing what that 33 is doing right now, and that is going down on the straightaways to try and break the draft to the cars behind him. You see this huge field here, 18 cars making the start tonight. Your front two having a little bit of a gap form up between them. Ryder out in the chat saying, go Phillip. Phillip Scott is running in third, was being challenged by Adam Pettit, but Pettit fallen now to the 5th place position. Just got passed by Julian Tesoro through turns number 1. It is just turn number 1 here. Of course, it's been a little bit since we've seen Julian Tesoro here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Been since Texas, actually. Go way back to that first Beer Street Journal Star Spangled Bash, but contact into the outside wall for Tesoro and I believe the 99 of Phillip Scott. That is going to allow a lot of drivers by. Dominic Tesoro gets by. Mike Tellier trying to take advantage as well. Adam Pettit will dial that up on the World Racing Network replay. Take a look first at Phillip Scott, because I think Phillip got a good piece of that outside wall as well coming out of turn number 3, and that is not what you want to do early on. Yeah, you see massive wall contact. The 92 just kind of followed Phillip up into the wall as well. We got to get back live, though, because a lot of things have shifted up. You might have seen it in the replay, but the 971 of Nate Maurer, once again, your race leader, got past about a lap, got around the 33 of Trey Whited about a lap ago, and 971 trying to pick up where he left off last week after dominating the Milwaukee Mile. Had great speed as well at Bristol. We've seen Simbox Motorsports really start to come in here as we got toward the end of the regular season. Of course, all 4 of those three of the 4 Simbox cars find themselves in the playoffs here. That is this 971 of Nate Maurer. Also Justin White, who currently runs in the 9th position, and Bryce Hunter running in 12th. Those 3 playoff cars, all from Simbox Motorsports. I believe they have the most cars in the playoffs of any team. I'm not completely sure of that fact. Definitely, though, a good showing for Simbox Motorsports. And we'll take a look here, try and find some more battles in the field. This is the 92 of Julian Tesoro, trying to get it gathered back up after that contact with the wall, but the 77 of Doug Neal trying to take it away from him, and down into turn 1, Doug Neal will get clear. That moves Doug Neal up into the 6th position. He started 9th. Again, Doug Neal here in the Simbox 77. Great runs here to finish off the regular season, but was just too far back in points. Not in the playoffs, but another driver we're going to look at to be one of those I almost said regular season drivers. To be one of those drivers not in the playoffs. These drivers can still go get wins just like anyone else. Doug Neal wanting to play spoiler here at Pocono. Of course, has yet to get a win this season, but a lot of speed being shown by Doug Neal lately. Taking a look again through the rest of the field, trying to find any battles we have going on. Have a good group of cars right here. The 99 of Phillip Scott. He's dropped back now to 8th place from 3rd right before that contact with the outside wall. He's trying to fend off Justin White here in the number 2. Again, one of the playoff drivers as well is Justin White. Ira Kohlhaas behind him, and Bryce Hunter actually are also. So everyone here behind Phillip Scott in the 99 in playoff contention. And the playoff format as well, for those of you who don't know, we took the 10 drivers in, and they are going to race through all 7 races, and the person with the most points at the end of the playoffs will take home the championship. So it's a little bit more of an old school format compared to what we're used to seeing in NASCAR nowadays with the elimination style playoff formats. I personally like this one better. I always did when I was a driver, but I know The other one can make things a lot more interesting sometimes, but still, I think whatever the format is, these drivers going to put on a show, and that is what we see these drivers out here doing on track. Ira Kohlhaas in the 29 trying to get around the two of Justin White here for 9th place. Struggling to get that pass clear, though. Justin White doing a great job on the outside lane, holding him off, and actually Bryce Hunter starting to make the charge on the outside lane, but those three gonna look to settle it back in single file, at least for the time being. Actually think Bryce Hunter about to make a move. Yes, he is on Ira Kohlhaas. Got just a little high on exit of 3, did Ira. That opens the door for the 49 of Hunter, so move Bryce Hunter now up inside the top 10. Your race leaders still staying close to each other as well. Nate Maurer not being able to run away from Trey Whited in the 33. He's keeping the pressure on him right now. But Nate Maurer, we saw it last week. We saw it at Martinsville. Very good at just controlling the pace, not being too worried about mirror driving, and doesn't really worry too much about the drivers behind him. Just goes out, does his own thing here, and coming to take lap 11. The first 10 laps now going to be in the books. Nate Maurer continues to lead the race, stretch the lead just a little bit there off of turn 4 as well. So good job for Nate Maurer. Fastest car on the racetrack last time by the 14 of Adam Newton. Doesn't have as many starts this season either. Adam Newton comes into tonight way back in the points, 42nd in points, because he only has one start here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. That was last week at the Milwaukee Miles, so new to the series is the 14, but putting in a strong run so far in 12th, up from a 15th place starting position. You see, actually, Nate Maurer continues to pull the gap just a little bit. And that 33 of Trey Whited starting to fall back into the clutches now of Adam Pettit in the 83 machine. Trey Whited, your pole sitter. There's definitely good speed in that 33, but it seems like he's kind of struggling here as the run goes on. Once he got stuck back in that dirty air of Nate Maurer, just hasn't been able to really get those runs he was getting early on in this race. Now you see Adam Pettit really starting to close up on the inside line. Julian Tesoro trying to come with him there. Excuse me, Dominic Tesoro in the 69. Mix up my Tesoros. Adam Pettit, 4 wins on the season for that driver. Comes in your playoff leader. Trying to show everyone why that's the case here, side by side with Trey Whited now down the front straightaway. And don't overlook either Mike Tellier here in the back of this battle here. Speaking of the other Tesoro as well, Julian here locked in battle with the 49 of Bryce Hunter. Down into turn number 1. Hunter going to clear the 92, but there's a nice gaggle of cars here. You see Adam Newton working around the 77 of Doug Neal. Big group of cars here, and you see Tesoro, the 92, try to work to the outside of Bryce Hunter through the tunnel turn. That is a dangerous move. I think he thought a little bit better of it. It's going to fall back in line, but Justin White looks up the inside in the 2 machine. Dove it in there, did the 2 of Justin White, but he is going to make the pass clear. Getting around the 92, and that actually opened the door as well for the 14 of Adam Newton. That puts White up into the 8th position now, looking back up front. Adam Pettit was able to clear Trey Whited, as was maybe through the corner, yes, the 69 of Dominic Tesoro. Barely any room, if any, in between those 2 drivers there. headed through turns 1. Now things settling down a little bit into the tunnel turn. Dominic Tesoro comes into here tonight. 3 races, or 3 starts under his belt. A best finish of 3rd came back at Gateway. He's ran at Gateway, Talladega, and Texas. 2 of those 3 were top 10 finishes. Talladega was a 12th place finish. So overall good stats for Dominic Tesoro, but relatively untested here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. But so far certainly showing a lot of pace behind the wheel of that number 69 machine. But Nate Maurer still continues to command the lead in that Simbox Racing machine. Adam Pettit trying to track him down. Again, Pettit, his issue in the last couple of races has just been getting a couple laps under his feet, really settling in and being able to cook off laps, because in the last couple of races, it's just been early incidents that kind of set the pace for Pettit. And unfortunately, he's, again, struggled, but right now that doesn't seem to be the issue. Finding form here as we hit the playoffs. He's having to race Nate Maurer, who comes into tonight with a ton of momentum. And Nate Maurer looking for the hat trick here. 3 wins in a row if Maurer could get to victory lane here tonight. Look back in the field here. You see Bryce Hunter working around Philip Scott down the front straightaway. So Bryce Hunter able to get one more position for himself here headed into turn 1. That moves him to 6th place. Philip Scott made heavy contact with the wall, certainly not doing as bad as I would have said, but definitely has fallen through the field after running up inside the top 3 in the early laps. You see fading up the track a little on exit. Thought that would leave the door open for Justin White, but able to get the throttle down was Scott in the World Ninja League machine. Things, though, really closing up front. The 83 Adam Pettit right on the bumper of the 971 of Nate Maurer, headed down into turn number 1. On board with Adam Pettit here out of turn number 1. See him running right behind the 971 of Nate Maurer. That is getting himself that draft we talk about. See there, Nate Maurer really attacked the tunnel turn. Adam Pettit much more cautious on entry, and that is going to allow him a big run out of turn number 2, looking for the race lead into 3. Nate Maurer trying to make it work on the inside lane, but 17-lap-old tires don't like to turn, and in fact, Maurer down pit road. He is going to be the first of your leaders to start green flag pit stops here. He brought a couple others with him. The 69 down pit road, 33 Trey Whited down pit road, a lot of drivers as well. Bryce Hunter, Justin White, Adam Newton, Julian Tesoro, Stan Hausman, Noah Owen, Steven Lachensky, all down pit road. I think more drivers came down pit road that lap than stayed out on the racetrack. That leaves Adam Pettit here as your race leader. Would be very surprised to not see the 83 come down pit road this time. Tires so important here at Pocono. You saw how much Nate Maurer was struggling there to keep that car on the inside lane when he had a car to his outside. We will see if Pettit makes the jump to pit road this time. He is going to do so. Again, a reminder that laps led here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series are a bonus point. If you lead a lap in the race, it does get you a bonus point. That's something to keep in mind for all these playoff drivers here racing for points. Not going to see anyone make the gamble to stay out, though, as the rest of your lead lap cars going to be down pit road that lap. It'll be close. We'll see who comes out in front. Will it be Nate Maurer here in the 971, or will it be Adam Pettit? Pettit still in his pit box. Maurer passes him on the track. Actually going to make a massive gain there on the 83, who's just now exiting pit road. That's a fantastic pit stop by Nate Maurer. See him here, very comfortable lead now. Out of turn number 1, headed for the tunnel turn, turn number 2. It is going to be, let's see who it is. Scoring not yet updated. I believe, no, not Philip Scott. He's way back there. Believe, you see Adam Pettit just exiting turn 2 here. 971 Nate Maurer. He is almost exiting 3. That's going to be the gap. We will get more of an idea about the advantage Nate Maurer has when the rest of the field gets across the line. It is the 69 of Dominic Tesoro now, your second place driver, trying to play playoff spoiler. Not in the postseason here, but Dominic Tesoro, strong car here tonight. The 33 Trey Whiten now back up into third. The 47 of Mike Floppy Tellier in fourth, and Adam Pettit running in fifth. That will round out your top 5, and I think this is a great time for us to step back just a little bit, and we are going to listen in here at Pocono. And that was your listen in here from Pocono. If you would be interested in sponsoring that segment, sponsorship opportunities are available here. You can email wrn.broadcasting@gmail.com. You see it there on your screen for on-broadcast sponsorship opportunities and race sponsorship opportunities. The NSRA is looking for playoff sponsors here to help keep broadcasts on the air. So if you would be interested, you can get in touch with us or the National Sim Racing Association. The link to their Facebook is in the video description for more information on opportunities to promote your brand here on the World Racing Network. Lap 23 of 55 is where we find ourselves looking back live from Pocono, and it is still Nate Maurer with a commanding lead of just under 2 seconds over Dominic Tesoro in the 69 machine. Maurer debuted this paint scheme, I believe, last week. It's a great looking car here. Up to 98 subscribers here on the World Racing Network. Again, keeping our eye on that 100 subscriber mark. We are so close to. I think we got to do something special when we get to 100. I don't know exactly what it is. If you have ideas, let us know out in the chat. Would love to hear from you. I think 100 subscribers definitely deserve some kind of celebration. I don't know what we'll do for that, but I definitely think we'll do something when we get there. Let's take a look through the field, see if anyone has any battles going on the racetrack. Let's take a look, check back in on the 99 machine of Philip Scott. Remember, Philip started in the 4th place position. He's running 9th, though, so not a great first half of the race for Philip Scott. But again, he did have that contact with the turn 3 wall that's really probably hindering the performance of that race car. You see it there, how beat up the right side of that World Ninja League machine is. We're following Justin White in the 2 machine. Justin White yet to get a win this season, but a lot of strong runs for driver of the number 2 machine. We'll check in on his season stats as well here. Best finish for Justin White this season. He has 2 second place finishes, one at Darlington, one at Atlanta, but yet to break through for that win. Philip Scott trying to make the pass through the tunnel turn, but good job again by Justin White, holding him off there in the outside lane. We've seen Justin White do that before here tonight. I don't think that's the first time he's held someone off on that outside lane. Philip Scott holding off a brief surge of momentum as well from the 92 of Julian Tesoro, who's the other driver who got into the outside wall with Philip back before lap 10 of this race. I think it was around lap 6 maybe that happened, if memory serves, which it doesn't always do that. Dominic Tesoro in the 69 starting to rapidly fall off your race leader, Nate Maurer. That gap now back to almost 2.5 seconds here. It dropped somewhat quickly. He's got to worry about the 47 of Mike Tellier. Tellier, a driver we have seen good runs and bad runs from him. He won way back in the season opener at Daytona. He comes into tonight with that being his lone win on the season. But he's doing all right for himself. After the win, though, it's really been a struggle. His best finish other than that was 1 3rd place back at USA International. That is 2 of his only 3 top 5s this season, but consistently inside the top 10 is Mike Tellier, who comes into tonight 5th in playoff points and 11 top 10s for his efforts. Certainly doesn't help that. In the regular season, he was actually 5th in those points, as well as you see him, though, slam the wall out of the tunnel turn. That is not what the 47 wanted to do. I think a little bit of commentator's curse just got put on the 47 of Mike Tellier, because I was just talking about how good a run he's having, and there he was into the outside wall. Gonna look, damage does not look terrible for Hello Kitty there. Gonna be able to still cook some laps. Drops a position to Adam Pettit, but still well inside the top 5 here. Got a 2.5 seconds back to Trey Whited in 5th. Your pole sitter not really had the run I think he was looking for. Still a solid top 5 is what you want in the playoffs, but I think the expectation was a little bit higher even in those opening laps when he was racing for the win. But right now just dropped to 5 seconds behind your race leader, so the pace kind of falling off just a little bit for that 33. Seems to, I think, struggle with the longer runs here today at Pocono, and he's got to watch out for the 14 of Adam Newton, who is on a monster of a run here. Newton started 15th, is currently running in the 6th position. So up 9 spots already, and we are just passing the halfway point of this race. So Adam Newton's 2nd start of the season, showing a lot of pace there in that Goodwrench 14 machine. Running the Dale Earnhardt throwback scheme. They've got Bryce Hunter right behind them, the Dr. Pepper machine. Slowly but surely as well, creeping his way up through the field after starting 12th. He runs 7th. You see Trey White not getting a great run again out of the tunnel turn. That is going to open the door for the 14, who just slides on by. Can he get it down on exit? Yes, he can. So move Adam Newton now, plus 10 positions on the day, up into 5th place, and it is only lap 30. Adam Newton, fantastic day. If we get a caution, watch out for that 14 machine. Caution is not at all what your race leader wants to see, though. Nate Maurer now up to a 4-second lead over 2nd place Adam Pettit. So Nate Maurer continues to just lay down some phenomenal laps. Let's pull up our WRN head-to-head. We'll see exactly how fast those lap times are that Nate Maurer is laying down out in the race lead. We'll see what he does this time by here. It takes a few seconds for Adam Pettit to get to the start-finish line. Pulled 0.2 of a second on him there that lap, so that's a good lap for Nate Maurer. If he continues to keep it up, he will start to scoot away here with this race lead. This is also, as well, just passing the halfway point. I think a good time to thank our our series sponsors and race sponsors for helping make racing possible all through the regular season and through the playoffs here. Of course, Beer Street Journal for sponsoring the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. We could not do this at all without the support of Beer Street Journal. Also have Max Graphics, Stay Tuned Sports, Brookstone Animal Hospital, Simbox, Taz Racing Customs, J&R Craftworks, and Eclipse Photography. Thank you to all of them for making racing possible here on Thursday nights. We've had a ton of fun here at the World Racing Network, and things just starting to get exciting here as we approach. Well, we are not approaching the playoffs anymore. We are in the playoffs. And so far, it's been the Nate Maurer show here as of late. No one else really able to touch him. See the 39 Stan Hausman down pit road in the Beer Street Journal machine. Jason Shoes also made his pit stop in the 3, but your leaders have yet to come down pit road, so we'll continue to monitor who decides to make the jump first. Now, keep in mind, on the last green flag pit cycle, it was Nate Maurer running in 2nd. He pitted first, got the jump on Adam Pettit, and you see how big a difference it's made. Pettit is 4 seconds behind your race leader right now, so pitting first, massive advantage potentially here. Gives you an extra lap to get that car up to speed while your opponent is just coming out of pit road. Of course, if you pit at the wrong time and you catch a caution, well, that could really throw a wrench in your race. You're going to need one of those Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Awards if you wanted to get back up onto the lead lap. But Pocono is one of those tracks where if you are close enough to the race leader, you can actually pit for 4 tires and fuel and get back out still on the lead lap. It just depends on the kind of laps the leader's laying down and how fast your pit crew can work in the pits. Adam Pettit could definitely safely pit. I think most of your top 10, maybe everyone in the top 7 here behind the 33 of Trey Whited could pit and stay on the lead lap. Whited would kind of be on the bubble of who could make it in and who couldn't. Of course, Trey Whited trying to deal with a lap car in the 9 of Steven Lachensky here. Lachensky running 17th here, started 11th. Not been the day that 9 team wanted either here at Pocono. Only 4 cars currently 1 lap down. Stan Hausman, Noah Owens, Steven Lachensky, and Jason Shue. And keep in mind, Jason Shue and Stan Hausman both made pit stops, so presumably Stan should get back on the lead lap, I believe, when your leaders start to come down pit road. But you see Nate Maurer right behind him here. He wants to put Stan 2 laps down. Actually, Stan is still on the lead lap. It's showing him a lap down even though he's not on my scoring. I really probably need to update that. That'd be the second time it's done some goofy shenanigans here tonight. All right, pit stops beginning for some of your race leaders. Dominic Tesoro, Trey Whited, and Julian Tesoro all making their pit stops here under green flag conditions. The Tesoros both race for Tesoro Motorsports here in the series. Trey Whited drives for Sizemore Motorsports. Of course, Ryan Sizemore not here tonight. Noah Owens and Trey Whited, the two Sizemore Motorsports representatives here in tonight's race. Brock Whited also not here tonight for Sizemore Motorsports as Nate Maurer comes down pit road now. Your race leader making his scheduled stop here. Adam Pettit going to stay out a lap. A little bit surprised to see that for Pettit after last time when Maurer pitted a lap earlier and really gained the time on pit road. Adam Newton as well down pit road. The 49 Bryce Hunter in the pits. Justin White down pit road. Julian Tesoro continues to sit in his pit box. Actually not being scored on the racetrack right now is Julian Tesoro. We'll keep an eye on that for the drivers. Had a strong run early on. Was battling back around the top 10 at the time of those pit stops. Adam Pettit, race leader. Mike Tellier in second. Philip Scott third. Now keep in mind those drivers have yet to come in and pit. They've gone 18 laps so far on fuel. So if we want to do that math here, as Adam Pettit comes down pit road, that would mean they are about a lap short of where if they made that same fuel run, actually they are on the lap. Now it's lap 37. Basically, if they make the same fuel run they did just there, they get to the end of the race. So that is probably a sound strategy call. Is there an extra lap? That's what Nate Maurer banks on. Mike Tellier is well down pit road. Philip Scott down pit road in the World Ninja League 99. Sam Kohlhaas, the Pepsi machine, down pit road. Ira Kohlhaas down pit road. Tom Lester as well down pit road in that Fox machine. Steven Lachensky now down as well. The race lead in the hands currently of Doug Neal, the Simbox Motorsports driver. Going to pick up some laps led here. Of course, not in the playoffs, so the bonus points not going to do too much for him other than the overall season standings, which I guess they could still race for. Racing for 11th, and you see a ton of damage as well on the rear bumper of Doug Neal as he comes down pit road now. Trying to see if that leaves anyone else on the racetrack. I don't think so. I believe when they cycle back through, it's going to be the 971 of Nate Maurer. Yes, you see him there. Gonna go pick up the race lead once again. A great night for Maurer here. Once again, the driver looking for 3 wins in a row. I don't know if that feat's been accomplished before here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. I know Jason Gracias, not consecutive 3 wins in a row. He didn't start back-to-back races, but he did, I believe, pick up 4 in a row actually earlier this season, but that took place with gaps in between them. I believe Nate Maurer would be the first to do that here. I don't believe the only other driver who could have done that was Adam Pettit, and he did not. He got 2 wins in a row back at Texas and Dover, but 3 wins in a row not yet seen this season in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, and that is not something we see very often. And it is Nate Maurer with a hefty race lead out 10 seconds over Dominic Tesoro. Simbox Motorsports needs to give Nate Maurer's pit crew a raise. They cannot possibly be making enough for how big leads they have gotten him and how much time they've gained him in pit road. Bryce Hunter got around the 69 machine of Dominic Tesoro, who's actually losing a lot of spots here really quickly. Adam Newton's gotten around him. There goes the 33 of Trey Whited. We'll be watching to see Adam Pettit try and get around the 69 as well. And Nate Maurer continues to cruise around at a 10-second lead now over Bryce Hunter in the 49. It's, again, solid night for Bryce Hunter. Another driver, him and Adam Newton both have come through the field together. Bryce Hunter started 12th, now up to 2nd. Adam Newton started 15th, up to 3rd, trying to make it 2nd on the 49 of Bryce Hunter. Down toward turn number 2, Adam Newton up the inside lane. He is going to clear Bryce Hunter through the tunnel turn. Hunter trying to fight back, though, on exit. Not going to have the run, though, into 3. Adam Newton continues to impress in his 2nd career NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series start. There's Bryce Hunter as well here, a rookie in the series. We've had a lot of rookies in the series make impressive runs, and that is signified. You can see on their rear bumper they have that yellow stripe that signifies them being a rookie, and they are eligible, I do believe, still for a $100 payout from Beer Street Journal for Rookie of the Year standings. I don't know if that, I haven't heard about that here in a while, but I'm going to assume that's still in effect. Take a look again. We'll see Dominic Tesoro still fighting Adam Pettit. Managed to hold him off this long, and in doing so, he's brought a bunch of cars up to him. You see the 47 there, Mike Tellier, massive run, gets Pettit trying to go 2 for 1 and get the 69 of Tesoro through 3. He's going to do so. Stan Hausman, he is back on the lead lap, and he is going to get around both Pettit and Tesoro as well. Steven Lechensky, 1 lap down, but he is doing the same thing. They lost a ton of speed. Both of them did together. I wonder if something didn't happen to them before we panned to them on camera. That is Stan Hausman having a good run here today in that Beer Street Journal number 39 machine. Title sponsor of the series on the hood of his car, I should say, all season long. Stan put in 3 top 5s and 6 top 10s in the regular season. Kind of lost the consistency a little bit later on, got a little less top 10s then. Coming off, though, in 8th place at Milwaukee to kick himself into the playoffs. Not in the playoffs, but still, Stan Hausman looking to represent the title sponsor of our series here. Of course, doing so well. Brought great paint schemes. Again, I think some of the best schemes we've seen all season long back at the Beer Street Journal Star Spangled Bash. He now fights with Mike Tellier for the 5th position, looking for another top 5. It has been since, let's see, it has been since Dover, way back in July, since Stan Hausman was placed inside the top 5, but he's gotten several top 10s since that time. Of course, Mike Tellier, again, we talked about him. He comes into tonight in the playoffs, 5th in points. His last top 5 finish was at USA International when he came home 3rd. Has 2 top 10s since then. Both were 9th places at Atlanta and iRacing Super Speedway, the pack tracks. No surprise to see him doing well there. He did win at Daytona, and no surprise to see him doing well here. Oh, but Tellier manages to save it. You saw him sideways, tire smoking on the yellow line. Got a little bit too much of that apron. Again, let us know out in the chat if you are watching and how your favorite playoff drivers and drivers in general are faring here tonight. Starting to challenge the 83 of Adam Pettit. You saw Stan Hausman kind of falling off the back of Mike Tellier. Philip Scott trying to insert himself into this. Adam Newton down pit road. So is the 33 of Trey Whited. Pitting with 10 laps to go here. I'm very, very curious about this pit strategy. I don't know what exactly they're playing at here. Because we did the math, and Adam Pettit, those drivers could come and make it to the end of the race. I would have assumed those drivers who pit before them could make it as well. I guess we'll wait and see. That's very curious here. And the 14, Adam Newton, had such a great run from 15th to 3rd. It's not over yet, but I'm a little bit curious as to the pit strategy being employed. Bryce Hunter in the 49 now as well down pit row. That right side of the car scraped up. I don't remember if it was like that or not. Stan Hausman in the 39 is down pit road as well. So drivers making pit stops didn't think they needed to make pit stops. Again, I guess they do. I'm sorry, my math is not always correct. We'll be very interested to see, though, because your race leader continues to stay on the track. Showing no signs of pitting in is Nate Maurer. The fastest lap of the race, for those of you who like to know those kinds of things, is the 83 of Adam Pettit. Took a 54.454. Everyone else's best laps around a 54.6, 7, or 8. Sam Kohlhaas got really close to it with a 54. Where did Sam Kohlhaas go? Actually, it was a 55. Dominic got close. Dominic Tesoro with a 54.5. So did Mike Tellier. Race leader still on the track. Nothing has changed there. Steven Lachensky, Jason Shue in pit road now. Well, let's do a little reverse now. Yellow flag on the racetrack. Crew chief told us that. That's new. I assume you all could hear that little iRacing update there. Means they're telling us there's a yellow flag on the track. I mean, sometimes I need to know that, but big caution on the track. That is going to shift up a lot here. We're going to go try and find the source of this. Oh, this is an unusual incident. Here's the 2 of Justin White coming out of the turn 2. Everything normal here. Watch through turn 3. You see the engine, or look out the back of that car, fades up the track, and the engine goes. As you see the smoke start to puff out the back of that race car. Steven Lachensky saved it down pit road. Everyone actually kept it straight. Justin White dead on the racetrack, though. And that shakes up everything. Because we had drivers who had pitted, drivers who hadn't. So it's going to get really curious to see the tire difference. Who will come down pit road, who won't. On board with Justin White. We'll listen in for that engine to go. Hey, here they're into 3. The engine just cuts out. Got it back, actually. That an unusual incident, because you hear there he's under power. No smoke either. I'm going to put that in the column of weird iRacing things. I have no honest clue what happened. But one thing is for certain, folks at home, that just shifted everything up in this race. Looking back live, race leaders down pit road as to be expected. One driver stays out, though, Dominic Tesoro in the 69. Actually, Stan Hausman as well stays out. Everyone else, though, down pit road. Try and look and find who won our Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award. Is it the 88 of Noah Owens? Or is it Stan Hausman? I think it is Stan Hausman. I'm definitely not confident, but I think Stan Hausman is going to win your Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award under this caution. The first caution of the race, might I add. A big thank you to our friends at Brookstone Animal Hospital for sponsoring the Lucky Dog Award and helping drivers get back on the lead lap all season long. So we will wait for when they cross the line this time by to go through where people run and how much that shook things up. Nate Maurer lost a 10-second lead because of that. I think that is the big thing to keep in mind here. The 971 was cruising to a race win without that caution, and now the field bunched up again. And I invite you back all the way to the initial start of the race. Nate Maurer took the lead on the first lap of the race from your pole sitter, Trey Whited, but then he lost it for a couple laps to Trey before gaining it back again. Now, your race leader is not going to be Nate Maurer. It's going to be the 69 here of Dominic Tesoro, who is on 16-lap-old tires compared to everyone else who just came down pit road for 4 fresh tires. So to say that, in my professional opinion, the 69 is basically a sitting duck out front because tire's massive at Pocono. We'll see how he fares, but I think it's going to be hard-pressed to be able to hold off your race leaders here. We'll go ahead and again review the point standings here just for good measure. This is coming into the race. This is not up to date. Coming into today, Adam Pettit was your points leader. Nate Maurer was second. Philip Scott third. And then you can see the rest of the field there on the screen as well. Philip Scott back up into 4th place. It has been a rocky day for Philip Scott. Ira Kohlhaas, have not talked about Ira Kohlhaas really all night long. Up into the top 5 now. Ira, that 10th driver in the playoffs, now in the 5th position. So Ira Kohlhaas having a strong run of things in the late going. We'll see if that 29 Mountain Dew machine can close it out here. And we will see if this is our only caution here. I think that is also just as interesting a question. We will see here. The field coming out of turn number 3, pace car down pit road, and we are going to go back green here for a 5-lap shootout. Who will take home the win? We will see here. Green flag back in the air at Pocono. Dominic Tesoro could jump off the line, but again, Nate Maurer with a great restart. The 971 took the race lead on the initial start of the race from this exact same position. I think he's going to be able to get close to clearing Tesoro. He will. Nate Maurer back up into your race lead now out of turn number 2. Adam Pettit trying to follow along here, fighting Tesoro now down into turn number 2. 69-83 side by side. Look at Adam Newton here in the 14. He's back up inside the top 5, fighting Philip Scott for 4th. Adam Pettit was able to clear Dominic Tesoro, so he is now back up into 2nd place. 4 laps to go from Pocono. Philip Scott fending him off in the outside lane, but look at the jump Nate Maurer got on that start. He is out to a 3/4 of a second lead over Adam Pettit. Pettit might still be in that draft, though, of the 971. We will see if Nate Maurer not going to break the draft down the straightaways. He holds that line by the wall. The battle's still on back here for position. Oh, Philip Scott got squeezed into the outside while they keep it straight. Let's go back and look at that one very quickly. Philip not going to be happy with whatever happened there. 3 wide through the tunnel turn does not work. I don't know how they didn't wreck. That was Trey Whited, Mike Tellier, and Philip Scott. 3 wide through the tunnel turn. 3 laps to go for Nate Maurer. Looking for 3 wins in a row for that Simbox Racing machine, but Adam Pettit has cut the race lead now down by 2/10 that last lap. Now just half a second lead for the 971 of Nate Maurer. Right now it's looking to be a showdown between these 2 drivers. They came into the playoffs first and second in points. The order flipped though. The Pettit is your points leader by 5 points over Nate Maurer, but that could change if the results stay as they are right now after tonight. Nate Maurer exits turn number 3. 2 laps to go now for Nate Maurer. Adam Pettit, we'll see how he fares on that lap. Actually did just barely bring in Nate Maurer, but he is going to need a lot more than that if he wants to catch him in the next 2 laps. On board again with Adam Pettit. That is the gap up to Nate Maurer. Doing everything he can to bring it in, but so far Nate Maurer this lap held Adam Pettit back at that distance. He's going to need a big run here, though. Got a nice one coming out of the tunnel turn. Wheeling that car. Hear the tires squealing as he goes through turn number 3. White flag, though, is in the air. Nate Maurer leads to 1 lap to go here in the first race of the Beer Street Journal playoffs. Kept the gap about even back to Adam Pettit here into turn number 1 for the final time. You see, just barely lost time. Adam Pettit needs to make up still about half a second this lap. Really might need Nate Maurer to make a mistake, which he has not made all race long. If Adam Pettit wants a chance to get up here through the tunnel turn for the final time. 1 more turn to go for Nate Maurer, looking for 3 wins in a row in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series through turn 3 for the final time. Looking smooth, looking good. Nate Maurer, as he exits the corner, is going to come across the line to pick up his 3rd win in a row and pick up the first win of the 2022 Beer Street Journal playoffs. Already the celebration begins for Nate Maurer. Another great race for driver of the 971 machine. He is on fire right now in this series, cannot be stopped. His 4th win of the season, that ties Adam Pettit for most wins, and Jason Gracias for most wins of the season. And 3 of those wins came in the last 3 races. Before that, it was a 10-race winless streak for Nate Maurer. You see all the field going by to congratulate Nate as he picks up a big win to kick off his 2022 playoff campaign. Enough can't be said, though, for Adam Pettit as well. We've talked about him and the struggles he's had over the last couple of weeks. Came back to a strong second-place run here today. Nothing to be ashamed of. Adam Newton comes home in 3rd. An incredible run from him as well. We'll highlight all that later on. Victory celebration's going to begin here for Nate Maurer, and we are going to step away for just a moment, let you watch Nate Maurer do his celebration, and we will return with post-race interviews here with your top 3 finishers coming up in just a moment here on the World Racing Network. All right. We are back here from the burnouts, I should say. We'll queue up our first interview here, going to be with the number 14 of Adam Newton, who had an incredible run here. I am looking forward greatly to this interview. Adam Newton, Mitchell Adams in the World Racing Network booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
And it was an incredible run for you here tonight. Your second start this season, started 15th, got your way all the way up to a third place finish. Take us through your night, 'cause you had a ton of speed in your number 14 machine.
Yeah, thanks. I got to thank my teammates from Simbox. They gave some good advice, and we just took our time, tried to have a good race and have fun out there tonight.
Yeah, did you have fun out there tonight? I know people either love
Yeah.
Pocono or hate Pocono.
Yeah, I had a really good time. It was interesting to see how the strategies were going to take place, and uh, it was a blast. It was a blast coming through the field.
It was fun to watch from up here. You had me worried there. You talked about the strategy. I think you pit under green there toward the end, and a couple other drivers did, and I thought you all were good to the end, and then everyone started pitting. I wasn't sure why. Was it scheduled stops all the way through the race for you here tonight?
Yes, and I was trying to. Some guys were trying to save gas. I was not trying to save gas. I was trying to shake it up some. I thought about taking tires, and I ended up taking tires on that last pit stop. Splash and go, and just see what happened. I thought we could run them back down, but unfortunately, that caution came out and kind of took care of that. So, had to wait and see.
I mean, still, third place, nothing to be ashamed of here. I hadn't gotten the chance to see how you ran last week, but certainly, I mean, this is how you want to kick off the playoffs with a strong run. Even though you're not in them, it's still good to come out here and show the field, hey, I'm good enough. I finished third place here tonight. I'm a contender to win just like everyone else here is.
Yeah, we ended up finishing. I think it was second place last week, and so two good back-to-back runs. Last week was gas mileage, and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah, certainly is. Looking at the schedule here, next week is a race I would be looking forward to if I was a driver, but I know a lot of people are not, and that is Watkins Glen. Are you a road course fan?
I do enjoy the road courses. I'm not extremely fast. I'm very patient. I'll try to do as best as I can and have a lot of fun at it.
We are certainly looking forward to the first and only road course of the season next week. Before I let you go, though, I'll give you a chance to give any shout-outs you want to give here before we let you go.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Justin and our sponsors and Beer Street Journal and you in the booth. I mean, y'all do a phenomenal job, and thanks to all the guys, came out to run tonight, and it was a good, clean race, and appreciate it.
Well, thank you as well for coming out and running tonight. Looking forward to seeing you at next week. Maybe I'll get to talk to you again. Best of luck then.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That was Adam Newton. He comes home with a third place finish tonight. That beats a seventh last week at the Milwaukee Mile for driver of the number 14, another Simbox car. So another Simbox 2-3 from the sounds of things. Next up, though, get to talk to our first playoff driver in the post-race show, Adam Pettit. You had a great run here today. I know things haven't been quite going your way when we ended the regular season, but certainly tonight a good run to get things going back in the right direction.
Yeah, I will definitely take a podium spot here. This is it's a big short track because you got to use a lot of freaking brake, and as we've seen over the last couple weeks, I'm not very good at those kind of tracks. So coming out of here with a second place finish, I will take it. I'm ecstatic about it. For me, it's just about getting through these next couple races. We got a road course and then back to another short track at Bristol. But then we get to my kind of track. So hopefully, I'm not being too cocky, but I'm I'm thinking that's where I will pick back up where I left off during the mid half of the regular season.
We did end the regular season with a big variety of different racetracks. We went from short tracks to super speedways to another short track, and we were jumping all over the place. And the first couple of races of the playoffs here, we go from here at Pocono to a road course to short track, like you said. But then when things settle in, are those the races you circle on your schedule? Like, are you just in save as many points as possible? Don't lose too much of a gap to, well, hopefully retain the points lead, but if not, keep the gap as close as possible, and then you get into those tracks you like. Is that kind of your strategy in the playoffs here?
Yeah, it's right now it's just about, minimize the gap of points. Nathan obviously has been awesome at everything we've gone to. Trey, Philip, Mike, there's a lot of good guys in here that are good at these other kind of tracks. So I just have to, minimize that and like I said, hopefully when we get back to those cookie cutters, as a lot of people want to call them, that's when I can hopefully start gaining some ground and on those other guys. But either way, it's going to be tough. Those tracks just give me personally the best shot, but those guys are great at all those tracks too.
Yeah, and looking at the schedule coming up too, is there one in particular that you like that you say, "Oh, this is the track where I'm gonna go grab a win here"? Because you're tied for the most wins of the season too. Nate Maurer tied you tonight as well. So does
Oh
that put a little more pressure on you now, especially when we get into the most pressure-filled point of the season?
no, that's what I really love about the NSRA Beer Street Journal playoffs is there's no knockouts. Us 10 drivers are gonna duke it out here over the next, I think it's like 7 or 8 races. And so you don't you can maybe have a bad night, and still possibly be able to salvage everything. But for me, the track that I am really looking forward to going to is Charlotte. That's one of my favorite mile and a half tracks. That and Chicagoland was something is changed in Chicagoland, and I'm not as good there as I was in the B car, but I'm going to be putting in a little more practice and hopefully be able to gain a little more speed and a little more confidence and give everyone here a run for the title.
And Watkins Glen next week. How your road course skills? It's the only time we've been to a road course this season. So how nervous are you, I guess, knowing that you don't really know what everyone else is going to be like on a road course, and you don't really have much of a basis either for yourself this season? How much of a challenge are you expecting next week?
Oh, it's probably going to be the biggest challenge of the season, honestly, for me. Um, I don't like road courses. To me, the B car is the hardest car to drive at a road course, just because of how loose it can get on, corner exit, locking up the tires on entry, and then just everyone else, um, you know, running off track, bouncing off the wall, especially up the S's there at Watkins Glen. So it's like, do you not qualify and kind of stay at the back and kind of run a couple slow laps at the start of the race just to kind of build a little breather just in case accidents do happen. You give yourself a little time, or do you try to go out and qualify and start up towards the front? But then turn one is always crazy there at Watkins Glen with different breaking points, stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a thought of kind of how I want to attack it, but I'm not looking forward to it.
All that just reminded me why I love being up here in the broadcast booth, instead of having to strategize all that out going into the races. I
Yeah.
definitely the good luck to you going into there. Before I let you go, I'll give you a chance to shout out all the sponsors and people who help you get here.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Anything EC for car care products. Angel Wax is on board this week. They make a superior wax for your vehicle, and then obviously leather repair company, Car Candy, Next Diag, Herbal, and then the newest one, Simbox. Uh, our man Doug Neal just made me a sim box. It's supposedly on its way. I was hoping it was going to get here today, but unfortunately not. But hopefully I'll have it for next week at Watkins Glen. And if I do bad, I can just look at the dash and have a big old smile on my face. Thanks to sim box.
I, it's no fun to not do well, but even if you have to not do well, it's always fun to do it with cool stuff on your sim
Yes,
rig.
exactly.
Well, thank you for stopping by again. Congratulations on second place, and good luck to you moving forward in the next race of the playoffs.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Mitchell. Have a good one, bud.
You too. That was Adam Pettit, your second place finisher here tonight, but now it's time to talk to the man who picks up his third win in a row, Nate Maurer. Well, you got the hat trick, Nate. 3 wins in a row. What a way to kick off your playoffs.
I feel like Jason Gracias right now. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you tied him here tonight for the most wins of the season. You're in a 3-way tie with Adam Pettit, Jason Gracias for the most wins. You've all got 4. How good does it feel here, especially coming into the playoffs, to have the momentum rolling like you do right now?
It honestly feels great, man. We got a new sponsor on this car. I don't know if that's what's got my rear end and gear here, but yeah, I thankful that caution came out there at the end. Thought it was going to come down to some slower guys saving fuel and making it to the end and beating all the faster guys out front, but that didn't happen. But it's great to have the momentum going here. But Adams finished P2 here tonight, so we're still tight here in the points.
You came in 5 points behind him here. Certainly put in your work tonight to close that gap. Moving forward, how much are you watching everyone else in the playoffs and just trying to beat them, or do you still just go out and try and get the best run you can get, or is it more focused on them?
I just come out here and kind of run my race. Um, Honestly, I didn't even know what the playoff points look like. I actually just looked at them right now because I didn't know who was all in the playoffs. So I just looked here. But no, next week, I'm going to know where we're at next week. But I'll go in there, and I'm sure Justin White will tell me where I'm at in points. And we'll just go from there. And I know sometimes it depends. Probably later on in the playoffs here, when points battle hopefully is still tight between me and whoever's the leader, or maybe I'll be the leader. Just got to race smarter when it comes down to towards the end of the playoffs here.
Well, next week is going to be Watkins Glen, the only road course we have this season. How do you feel about your road course skills going into next week?
I feel good. I feel good there, but you get the guys that come in here that have their A-class road ratings. I'm sure I'll probably be one of the only rookies in there. It's what it seems like in every other league that race NASCAR car on. But hopefully we can come out there with a top 5, top 10. Top 5 will feel like a win there next week.
And you had mentioned something about drivers saving fuel and coming home with the race win. We had a lot of not playoff drivers mixing it up there at the front with all of you in the playoffs. How much of a threat do you think those non-playoff guys are? Because they can sometimes have really good runs and shake up the points because there's quite a few cars in between you and whoever else you're racing with in the playoffs for points.
I race everybody the same. I treat everybody the same. Just because they're not in the playoffs does not mean that they're not good enough to be in the playoffs. You got guys like Adam Newton that just joined. Actually, my teammate. Look at him. He didn't even qualify tonight. Came home P3. Had probably the best long run car. He actually did have the best long run car if you look at the charts and everything. But you got guys like Dominic that's not in the playoffs. I think if he would have chose to pit there towards that last restart, and he probably would have finished better than what he did. But anybody can win in here, especially next week at Watkins Glen, man. You never know, 2 leaders could get into each other. A guy in P3 might not even be in the playoffs and go out and win. I'd rather have a guy not in the playoffs win than somebody in it. So more credit to them for them non-playoff drivers.
Yeah, certainly you bring up a lot of good points there. Before I let you go celebrate more, Nate, I'll give you a chance to shout out all your sponsors and people who help you get here.
Yeah, my celebrating is going to consist of getting off here and going to bed. But shout out to you, Mitchell, for coming out here tonight and wasting your time coming out here and broadcast us. You don't get to drive out here anymore with us, but still get to watch us. Shout out to all the sponsors in here, and shout out to my new man. I'm telling you, ever since we got this new sponsor, Redneck Nation, look up Redneck Nation clothing on Google, Facebook, wherever you want to. Go shop for some new clothes. Ever since we got this new paint scheme on here, this thing has been fast. But we can't forget about that send box on the back of it too. But big shout out to Bobby. I know he shared your broadcast tonight on his personal Facebook page, which he has tons of followers on there. So hopefully you get some more views here tonight. And shout out to also Doug Neal. He's on my deck lid of this Xfinity car. Need a button box, hit up Sendbox PC on Facebook for your button box needs.
Well, thank you for stopping by and chatting with me again. Congratulations on 3 wins in a row. Looking forward to seeing what you can make happen next week.
Thank you, bud. You have a good night, man.
You too. That is Nate Maurer, and that will wrap up your post-race interviews here for this first race of the playoffs at Pocono. It has been a wild run here we have had. Glad you all joined me here in the booth. I had a lot of fun all season long, and tonight kicking off the playoffs. Definitely exciting night. Curious to see what will happen with the points. Actually, let's go take a quick look of points. See, it'd have to be a really quick update. No, not quite yet. I didn't expect it to. That'd be insanely quick if they had them in by now. Still, though, great race here tonight. Nate Maurer picks up his 3rd win in a row. What a run for him. Adam Pettit also with the rebound. Gets a 2nd place finish here after a string of bad luck. Good run for him. Let us check. Did we break 100 subscribers? Oh, we're at 99. We are so close here tonight. But thank you to everyone who hit that red subscribe button. Thank you to all of you as well who are already subscribed. Or if you're just tuning in at all and you don't want to subscribe, that is okay too. We are glad to have you here watching our races on Thursday nights here. Let us first take a look at our post-race standings here. See where all your favorite drivers ended up finishing here tonight in this race. It only got 1 caution. Very impressed with all the drivers here tonight. They did a great job. Of course, they always do that in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. No surprise at all. Nate Maurer, of course, picked up his 4th win of the season, 3rd in a row tonight. Adam Pettit comes home in 2nd. Adam Newton in his 2nd start in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. A 3rd place finish, first top 5 for him. Trey Whited finishes in 4th place. Your pole sitter rallied for a strong 4th place run. Was worried about Trey Whited for just a little bit. Mike Tellier rounds out your top 5 here tonight. Tom Lester, a good run from 13th to 6th here tonight. In 7th was the 99 of Philip Scott, who hung in there after that contact with the wall. Dominic Tesoro ended up in the 8th place position. In 9th was Ira Kohlhaas, and Doug Neal rounded out your top 10 here. In 11th was Stan Hausman in the Beer Street Journal machine. In 12th was the 28 of Sam Kohlhaas. 13th, Noah Owens. 14th, Bryce Hunter. 15th, Steven Lachensky. In 16th, Jason Shoes. 17th, Julian Tesoro. I take that back. Scoring is not showing cars in the right order here. 17th should be Justin White, and 18th should be Julian Tesoro. I'm curious to see if the ticker at the top shows it like that too. It does. Even though Julian Tesoro is 20 laps down, Justin White is 8 laps down. We'll keep an eye on that. That's above my pay grade here. That is your finishing order here for tonight's race. And we will also take a moment, as always, to thank all the people and sponsors who make this possible. Again, if you would be interested in sponsoring these races here for the NSRA or on the World Racing Network, we have opportunities available. So email us at wrn.broadcasting@gmail.com we can find the right way to promote your business here with us. And again, thank you to Beer Street Journal, of course, the title sponsor of the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Max Graphics, Stay Tuned Sports, Simbox, Brookstone Animal Hospital. We gave one of those Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Awards away here tonight. Taz Racing Customs, J&R Craftworks, and Eclipse Photography all help make Thursday night racing on the World Racing Network possible. We could not do it without each and every one of them and the support they give us. Again, next week is going to be Watkins Glen, the road course, the only one of this season. I love road courses, so that is going to be a ton of fun to call up here in the booth. I hope you all will join us again, same time, same place next week for Watkins Glen. It should be a ton of fun, but until then, I hope you all stay safe, have fun, and we will see you in New York.